Welcome everyone, welcome to TFTV for a Premiership game from season 32. This season is just beginning. This is week 2, the game between Swift and EU. I don't even know if there are other Swift nowadays, but Swift.eu against a team who goes by the name now of MONGI mode, I think. I'm Ombrack. On camera work we have Hamaham, and I'm joined by Eemes, the large brain demo man. Hi Eemes.
Hi, Ombrack. How you doing?
I'm excited. It's first game I'm casting this season, and it should be a good one. Yesterday we had a cast on TFTV as well. It was MONGI mode already. They were playing against Ascent, and I think a lot of people expected Ascent to roll, and it was actually a close game. I think Snake was 5-4 to Ascent, so you can't really make it closer than that. And Sunshine was a bit more of a pushover for Ascent, but still. And when you look at Yak's team, so they played Ascent, which is arguably seed 2, maybe seed 3 of that season, and the other seed 2/3 is Swift. So a tough start of the season for MONGI mode.
Yeah, definitely a tough start for them. Although, I don't think anyone was particularly expecting that such a close result on Snakewater. So it does show that this has the potential to be a pretty close game. They do have, they have a lot of up and coming players who maybe have not got a lot of experience, but they're pretty much across the board in their team. They've got good DMers, so that could help them. Although, I feel like Pappy's main calling is probably going to be a bit more experienced and just sound in general than Yaks, who is decent. He can control his team fairly well, but he can be prone to making some Div 1 kind of mistakes,
Oof, already a call out after 30 seconds of stream. If you heard that, Div 1 players, you're welcome to PM Eemes and call him by all the names you want. But I've heard you calling some names already, calling some players we're going to see tonight. So how about we go through the rosters already so you can have an idea who's going to play. I'll let you pick Swift because I think you have some things to talk about.
Yes. Okay, so Swift, we have on Soldiers, we've got Pappy and Gink. On Scout, on Medic, we've got Seeds. On Demo, we've got Lucas. On Pocket Scout, we've got Scruff. And with his Premiership debut, we have Classy on Flank Scout. So it's going to be interesting to see how well Classy's going to do. He's been doing fairly decently in scrims, but will the nerves get to him? Will he be able to get the coveted award that is the debut of the season this season by pounding in these kind of games? Who knows? It's going to be interesting to see.
So you reckon this is what he's going for this season? He doesn't care about the playoff finish. All he wants is that award. Well, I think you have to be finished to win that award. You have to play Scout, so that's a good start for him. But then you have to be finished, and as much as a Scandinavian player that Classy is, I don't think he's quite finished yet.
Indeed, and neither is he the finished article on Scout, but perhaps he will be later in the season once he's learnt some more.
And on the other side of the battlefield, we have MONGI mode, and I'm going to run you guys through their roster. So on Demo, you mentioned Yak already, who we may call Joseph as well. Demo is the leader of that team. He'll be beamed most of that game by Torret. The Pocket is Mathis, so roaming soldier is Opti, and the two scouts are Thomas and Sui, who are arguably the two best players on that team. I mean, the two standoff player, I think, in my eyes. They are the one to look out for especially when you're going to play product, which is such a scout heavy map. And when you have Sui and Thomas, I think they are also contenders for that best prem debut. They're playing in a lesser team than Classy, but really they're not no one to be joked about because they're really good at what they do. So these are the rosters. We mentioned already how Swift should on paper be the better team, but yesterday was already some kind of not an upset, but a surprise. So what's your prediction for that, Eames? Do you think MONGI mod can learn from their mistakes and actually pull up the upset tonight?
Well, judging by yesterday, they weren't anywhere near as good at Sunshine as they were at Snakewater. And judging by last week, Swift are pretty good at Sunshine, to be honest, winning 5-1 against you indeed, Ombrack, as you know. So I'm going to say
that, I'm sorry.
Although, they do have... It's interesting. It might be like quite a close one for a long time, or otherwise I think they're going to get rolled. But probably I'm going to say it'll be fairly close. So I'm going to say something along the lines of 4-1. I was going to say 3-1, but 4-1 to Swift. but they'll get around near the end. So you know, it will be closer to a 3-1.
Swift is gonna get around in the end. Okay.
Like a garbage round.
I see. Their first official Swift played against a really potent team. I don't know if you know them. They're called Fein Gaming. I've heard they're really good. And the Swifts, they kind of breathed through that map. I think they won 5-1 or something. So maybe Sunshine is one of their best maps. So and you mentioned how MONGI mode kind of struggled yesterday on that really very map. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna give it to Swift as well, but from a bigger margin than what you said. I think it's. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 5-0 actually for Swift. Maybe not a 15-minute 5-0, but somewhere along the lines of 27 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's be accurate.
Fair enough.
That's what I think.
Judging from the maybe 3 Prem games I've seen so far this season, the first map is a lot closer. And you know, even if it's the underdog, both teams are going a bit cagey. Goes a bit slowly for the first 10 minutes, and then rounds start coming in. But like, I mean, you against Swift last week, for instance, you know, the first map was really, really close and it was back and forth. But then they kind of came out on the second map and were like, actually, we're way better. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be closer in the first map, but we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Yeah, maybe this is going to be the pattern this season. First map is close and then it's kind of one-sided on the second map. But now that we're on Sunshine, I wonder what you think about the map, because so we have a new map this season. It's going to be Logjam that we're going to see in a couple of weeks. But I think, would you consider Sunshine as a established map right now, or is it still kind of? I feel like the map still gives that kind of newish vibe. I don't know if you agree with me.
I think I would have to disagree, to be honest. But that's probably personally, Sunshine has always been my favorite map for quite a long time, and I know it's just a good one. We always used to like. I think we played Sunshine at both lands that I was at last year, like way more than any other map. I think it's. I mean, it should never have been. I was the only map that I gave 10 out of 10 in the ETF2L poll. I gave it Process 9 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on it. I think it should be. I think it is fairly established because it's been around for a pretty long time, and it should have been around before that because there was no real reason for it not to be in, because it's a good map.
Yeah, it is indeed. I like it also, but what I meant by new is that I feel like on pretty much every other map, every team has really set strats. Like even like Yak's team is kind of new. I think they formed for that season. So, but from players, you can assume they already know how to play Process. They know how to play Snake and stuff like that. And I wonder if you can say that people know how to play Sunshine individually, and to some extent as a team as well, without going through the map, doing some map talk. And I don't think Sunshine is the maps that kind of map still that people know how to play without having a real thorough rundown.
Yeah, I would say probably the part of the map that people know the least and that has the most unknown factor to it, or actually you're saying the same thing, but the most random factor is the mid fights, really, because there's a lot of there's just so many different things you can do. There's a lot of decisions you can make about where to stand, what kind of mid to do. You're going to play your soldiers aggressive, passive, and while a lot of the other mids are kind of played out, you kind of know how they're going to go. Sunshine mid can be very, it can go a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I think team's playstyle on Sunshine is a bit less refined than it can be on other maps.
Yeah.
And maybe that's actually going to help Yak's team, because it's common that messy maps not favor the less organized team, but they actually maybe give them some equal ground against more established teams. And Swift, even though they're kind of new as well, some of these players have played together before, and they're already experienced players. I think all of them have, except Classy, all of them played Prem to a playoff level. If I'm not mistaken, I think they all play. Maybe King hasn't played playoff actually. Outside of the battleground, I don't think only Opti has an actual Prem experience.
Seeds, Sui as well.
Did he play? Yeah, but
Sui played Prem. That much he also played playoff. Sui actually played Prem playoffs in season 29 with Omni 5 after Nunya dropped from the season.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. They ended up 5th, but enough. jabbering. This is happening. This is starting a first map of that season 32 week 2 game between Swift and MONGI mode, and this is a bait. If I trust chat, because they're asking for a restart, and I've been baited, and what be a night of scrims and Prem gaming without a bait somewhere in between. So yeah, I've been owned, I guess. But now we're going for real, I hope, unless they're watching stream are getting ready to meme upon me once more. But no, I think we're going for good once and for all, and we're gonna take a look at how these two teams approach that first middle fight. That can actually decide a lot of how the map is going to go, because if you get a wipe on the first mid, it's maybe gonna tone down your will to actually go really forward. We see Yak playing close to that cafe side on the right side with his teammate, trying to play around Bell Tower, and Pap is actually the first casualty of that game, but Yak dies as well from Scrub. The bomb from Opti trying to go onto Seeds, but is getting cleaned up by the scouts, and now this should be a battle of attrition going into... But no, actually Seeds died, I missed that, and now it should be a really nice battle, clean battle for Turrets if he manages to stay alive, and they doing that really carefully. Classy dies, and now everybody from Swiss is gonna look to leave, and I was expecting Yaxim to play really aggressively.
Behind on the turret. He's gonna go for some shots. He's gonna miss. Oh my god, he actually missed like 3 or 4 shots there on turret. That's questionable from Scruff. But yeah, that mid was very interesting, Ombrack. I mean, from basically what they even called MONGI mode played all together on right side, and Swift just tried to like bust into them, but they really had no positioning, and so it was just like far too difficult for them to actually get into them because they were just in the low ground, and then Seeds got bombed.
And now this is going to be a slight Uber for Torrid. It's only 20% now, and it looks like they don't want to take that too aggressively, which is surprises me from Yak, because he's known to be a really aggressive demo man, and it shows in his playstyle. He's always calling his team to move forward. But right now they didn't want to go with that slight Uber ad, and Classy on the other side is actually getting a gun. It's already level 3, and there's a sniper as well in the hands of Scruff. So it's gonna be a tough hole to break, and Sui knows about that because he's already on sniper as well. And I don't know about you, Eemes, but I feel like pushing that last on the Uber equality is actually really tough.
Yeah, definitely. I do like that from Yak there. I mean, it's easy to think that if you win a mid with your med life that you're just by default going to have Uber advantage for last, but they have realised that Seeds has been alive for a very long time because that mid took a long time to conclude. So it's well done not to just blindly push assuming they have advantage. But we do see Gink on the banner here on right side. Don't know if Pappy is as well. Yeah, they're both on the banner actually, so that's going to be pretty interesting, probably about 2 or 3 minutes if we see them be able to get those up. Probably going to have some aggression into lobby.
The banner play, we saw that from Swift last week as well against Feint, and they probably the reason why they won so convincingly on Sunshine, because they were able to recycle the Uber situation after trading, and they knew when to push with the banner ride, if you can call it that way. And now Pappy and Gink are looking to build their charge meta, and Swiss picking kind of aggressively. It's not being contested on the left side, and for some reason Scruff was looking at that teleporter and he gets the frag. Maybe that was some advanced BM here from Scruff, and with that frag Swift is trying to get some space onto lobby while MONGI mode is falling back and trying to play on the high ground. And the banner has been used.
Both banners popped. Gink is going to go in for the force, and he will get the nice force onto turret there with the help of the Contra there. Pappy did also pop his banner, I think, to try and help him out. He will go back to spawn to switch off, but that's really well played by the soldiers, just playing nice and aggressive with those banners to instantly get the force while the scout essentially is down because he was on sniper. And yeah, so it's going to be a decent opportunity for Swift to make a push out here if they do decide to. Which
even with an Uber advantage, I feel like it's really hard to break that second hold when the enemy team has the high ground, and you have to commit a lot of bodies, a lot of players if you want to actually take positions. And looks like Swift, they want to try to take that lower left area with the burst cats, their demo and the medic. They try to take space without having Six getting forced, and nobody from MONGI mode is actually trying to get some space except Opti is the only one spamming for flower. But a lot of respect here given from MONGI mode to Swift. They didn't even try to go onto Seas, and the reason is probably because Torrid already has his own Uber, so now they're gonna have an equal situation, a reset on that middle point. Gink is going in, he's trying to bomb, he's getting completely annihilated by the scouts by Thomas, and Torrid is unscathed on that middle point, and that was an attempt from Gink to no avail, and that's gonna be another reset. And similarly to Process, this point can be hard to break, but the high bomb from Malice is getting one rocket onto Seeds.
But Swift are all so weak here. Driver's going to play so aggressive onto them, they're going to get a really nice force, and actually the MONGI mode have so much positioning here, and Caesar's just going to have to lead, and the Uber hasn't even been forced off from MONGI. They will be forced now. Actually, Yak has been dropped. That's actually really terrible, but Caesar will go down to Opti, but they need to get out of this because they've got 4 fragging closes up for Swift, and Torrey is probably getting caught in here. Yeah, they've gone way too deep. They couldn't have dropped Yak there. If they had actually used on Drac, they would have been really good. I mean, sorry, Yak, not Drac. But yeah, they dropped him.
Yeah, good wraparound play here from Swift. After losing their medic, they were able to go around at that lobby side and clean up the frags and clean up turrets as well. So that was a fair attempt from MONGI mode. Maybe they got a bit carried away. They probably didn't have to use that Uber after Yak died. It probably could have been a reset on second and push with the ad. But what's done is done. It's 15% ad for Seas now, when it's not going to be up to MONGI mode to hold their second point. And I was going to say before they push that similarly to Process second, that lighthouse area on Sunshine can be really hard to break as well when the Ubers are even, and most of the time you have to commit at least 2 soldiers to try to get a force.
Yeah, but I didn't really like that aggression from MONGI mode just through flowers there. Just both soldiers bombing really, really high and deep and making so much space, getting a lot of damage onto Swift, and then so much space for Yak to come in. And if they hadn't done that one crucial mistake there, dropping Yak in the Uber, then they could have actually had pretty much a round from that. But as it was, they did get cleaned up in the end. As Swift are trying to make a lot of space here through Cafe. They will clean up Matt, Pappy and Matt actually trading. It's just a spam fight here. Probably better positioning for Swift, as they are going to be taking over point pretty well here.
Oh, and Torrid has to use, he had somewhat bad positioning, he had to use because he wasn't gonna die, and Ubers are being traded, but it's so much better for Seeds and for Swift because they managed to clean up the people were a bit too forward, and in the end only Pappy died kinda early when he traded with Mathis, and really clean push here from Swift. Maybe they want to go straight to last. Yeah, they want to go on that number advantage. Only Thomas is dead, but it's enough for them to try to break that hold. They don't want to let MONGI mode set up a gun. Mathis is dead on the side. Scruff is getting killed by Swift, but that fight looks really good for Swift. They get the medic, they get the demo, and it's only 3v3 now with the heals on the side of Swift. Opti dives to Pappy, but Pappy is being cleaned up then by Thomas. It's now 2v2, Lucas alone with his medic against 2 scouts who are both weak, and the Uber ad is now in the hands of Seeds. Look at him, he's already far back on Cafe. He didn't want to try to get that fight going because he knows he has a sizable Uber advantage. It's a 50% now ad for Seeds and for Swift, and I like that aggression. They poked to see if they had an opportunity, and as soon as they got the medic, they decided to fall back.
Yeah, it was really nice play from Gink there. He won a 1v1 with Matt on the flank, on top right, and then just bombs in and I think kills Turret as well. So just knowing that he was basically the spare man, I think Matt might have been weak from something else. Just wins the 1v1 and just comes in and absolutely wreaks havoc, as they will be taking the Uber in here top right to try and take this last.
The Paro in the hands of Sui is trying to deny that. The gun is getting done super quickly, and now it's a point player from, I think it was Classy who tried to go in, or maybe Scruff, I didn't really catch it. Torrit is really weak, doesn't have the rebound at all, and then it's a point play from Scruff, and that was an extremely clean push here from Swift. They got the gun down, and then they just pressured the spawn door, so MONGI mode couldn't do anything.
Yeah, it was looking a bit difficult for Swift there, as Lucas got so juggled by the Sentry and the Pyro together, but Yak, he had sticks like in the middle of the point, and but he let the Scout get onto just the side of it without detting, and they got so much cap time that it was just kind of an easy push from there, because he had to look at the point so much that he was kind of a free pick.
It's a second run. Yak is so much quicker than Lucas on the flower, but he has so much less health as well, so it's gonna be a tough fight for him. He's not getting arrowed as well because of his movements, and now he's finally getting that arrow. The bomb coming from Matt, trying to get onto Seeds on that Tetris side. He gets Pappy extremely low, and they trade it. No soldiers on the side of Swift. Maybe this is the opportunity that for MONGI mode to go forward. 4 soldiers are dead on the server right now, and it's gonna be an extremely even fight, and it's all about DM and skill. Now for who's going to take that fight. Joseph dies a bit overextended compared to his medic, and now they have to come back. The chase is on from Scruff and Lucas. Lucas is jumping in, trying to get Torrit, gets one Tiki. He gets the pipe as well. Nice play from Lucas, and now that Torrit is dead, Seeds can be rest assured he's not going to get that Uber disadvantage because he already has his own. And nice play here from Lucas, nice chase.
And that all really stemmed from, after that 4v4 with both soldiers going down, Yak was just kind of a little bit far forward from his team. All of Swift were on point, all of the MONGI mode scouts were just kind of a little bit further back, and that meant that Yak just got completely isolated and killed, and then they completely rolled it from there. Basically Swift just taking that one advantage and then hitting all their shots, and then now they're in a really dominant position for this round once again.
And this is going to be an extremely big Uber ad. There's a heavy and a gun. It's only level 2 right now. It's going to be tough for MONGI mode to hold that. Uber is being used onto top right, onto Lucas. Exact same push, but there's no pyro this time to push him back. Scruff is playing the play. playing the pawn extremely early. Now it's gonna be exactly the same situation. They've tried to pressure the cap while Scruff is capping, and nobody from MONGI mode was actually contesting that cap. Extremely weird. They were just holding right side, but didn't really look like they wanted to contest.
Yeah, it was really strange from Yak again. Instead of just like locking off the point and waiting for Swift to make their move, he tried to like push into them on the left side there where they pushed in, and basically just let the scout cap. So he's kind of impatient there. He just needs to. The primary job on Sunshine Last for demo, you just got to lock off the point. That's all you really have to do. And Yak's not doing that at the moment, so it's costing them as we go to this third mid.
That was an extremely quick round, this one, and Gink is bombing onto Opti. There's a one-on-one. They're both threat with each other, so now it's going to be 5v5 onto mid. Yak is again once more extremely weak on that mid fight. He's not getting healed as well by Torrid, who's walking forward. They completely disconnected. Torrid is on the left, Yak is on the right. He's dying, and now it's going to be another escape for Torrid. No, it's getting killed by Classy. Lucas bombing onto Choke, trying to look if he can get Thomas on Cafe. Thomas and Opti, they have to try to synchronize to get seeds, but no, they can't get him. And that was just so symptomatic of how there's a problem of cohesion between Yak and Torrid.
I mean, did you watch Yak just sit there on 10 HP for about 20 seconds? Or maybe not 20, maybe about 10 seconds there? And then Torrid tried to arrow him, and then he moved, and then, oh, it was just an absolute tragedy. So yeah, Yak having kind of a rough time on these mids. And did you predict 5-0 for Swift? Is that what you said, Ombrack?
That's what I said, yeah, but...
Well,
I hope I'm wrong, because I want to see a bit more of action, but Swift, they don't care about that. There's already another Uber being used top right. Nice deny here from Yak. No gun this time, but a heavy, and the Gink, weak behind the point, is getting pressured. And this Uber, they can't do anything with that Swift. They realize that, and they want to go back. They don't commit anybody to try to get Torre, because they know they maybe want to let Yak maybe feed a bit with the rest of his teammates. We're gonna see how they want to take that. They want to maybe try to take some stripes through their shutter, though this is gonna be really risky if Lucas want to contest that. And that's a 50% Uberat for Torre. And from the looks of it, they don't really want to go in. Classy feeds on the flank, and maybe this is the opportunity MONGI mode needed, even though Thomas dies. And Torre completely isolated left side. He's alone. Nobody's playing with him, and somehow nobody from Swift jumps him. And as crappy as it was, that play worked for
it's a very chaotic, a very disordered push there from MONGI mode, as I guess their name suggests. But somehow, I mean, Classy just kind of fed her on the right side, just trying to like peek the Uber, but you know, he just gets caught in by 5 players basically. But somehow the sort of the messiness and the disorder meant that Gink's timing was kind of off on his play on turret, and that he got cleaned up, and then they could take the point just about for free. So, you know, they managed, they weaseled their way through when that could have gone wrong pretty badly. So well done by MONGI mode, I suppose.
So you can say that that push was chaotic good in the end for MONGI mode. It worked out, and now it's gonna be a even Uber situation. Both Pappy and Gink are trying to make some space on Flower, trying to go to see if they can go for Torre, but Sui is there, is the vigil, and he saw them and they're falling by. They don't want to contest Sui, and Thomas actually is on spy, and he's gonna try to see if he can do something. And I think we have a pause.
We do indeed. Thomas just looking nice and sneaky in the corner. He's waiting for his cloak to charge off, I think.
I thought he was yeah, waiting for his cloak and dagger, and then I realized that everybody else was standing still on the server, so it hit me.
Yeah. Well, I wonder why the pauses happened.
Yeah. Maybe somebody crashed. I hope it's not Torrid or Seeds, otherwise it's gonna be a bit sad.
Oh.
And we're back. And so we see how I like that Thomas goes by, because test 70 minutes is a long time, but they know they're behind, so they know they're gonna have to do something. But getting a scout down on this situation where the soldier's gonna bomb on your medic is a bit risky as well for MONGI mode, so it's gonna be a high risk, high reward play if Thomas can get anything out of this spy play. And the bomb is coming from Gink, trying to get onto Torrid. Torrid once more is not getting help by any of his scouts. Sui finally realizes he has to go back, and Thomas was trying to go at the same time onto Seeds, but he was cleaned up straight away. And kind of a trade right now, and I don't want to sound too harsh, but I'm gonna highlight once more that Torrid once more was completely disconnected from everybody. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't take any damage from the Gink bomb, so given that they only had 1 scout, that's pretty important to be able to actually position yourself correctly, as we do see Swift trying to pressure from this Flowers area, but not too much happening. And actually, MONGI might have gone so deep into mid, they're actually going to trade onto Yak with taking a lot of space, but Matt has gone down to sniping from Gink, which is really nice. Actually, I think he hit 2 headshots there in a row. Scruff is going to kill Sui, probably in Cafe. Sui's so weak, but he will actually get out, and it's Thomas will be behind, trying to kill Classy, but nice shots from Classy there. And it's
Here
2
goes
picks
the
now.
best from the
SVIFT.
award for Thomas. Down the sewers.
Yeah.
And now it's gonna be another even situation. Gink died on sniper, so maybe he's gonna come out once more with the sniper rifle. We'll see how it goes. And this is where the pause happened. 1 minute and 30 seconds in the past. Gink still on sniper as predicted, and so Swift, they're gonna take it nice and slow. They know they don't have to rush anything, and if there's one to rush things on that server, it's gonna be Yak and nobody else. And again, 15 minutes is a long way to go, but when you're a bit inexperienced, maybe the pressure happens and oh no! Gink gets a headshot onto turret!
It's a crazy angle from Gink actually, just a tiny little sliver of turret's head he must have seen through all the way through flowers basically, but that's a huge shot, and Gink really pulling out all the stops on sniper here, as I think Matt might be trying to go for a play, but no, he's going to think better of it, and all of Swift are just going to, MONGI mode just going to scuttle off back to last, try and set up some kind of hold, but it's pretty much a full advantage of his seeds here. He's probably going to take it in top right again.
And Yak has some sticky on balcony. I feel like Yak is getting baited really well by the whole team from Swift. They know he's gonna be impatient, and look at him, he's already piping top right, even though the Huber is coming onto his face right now. But Lucas completely misses his sticky jump, and once more Scruff trying to play point, he's getting flashed by seeds, otherwise he would have died. And Torre once more dies to the sniping from Gink, and it could be a fight for Swift, but they're all weak from Swift. It's Sweet and Thomas gets a frag, Matt as well, so no heals, and somehow this fight may go in favor of MONGI mode. So it's only Classy under. Can he get the one-on-one against Thomas? It does not. Sweet backshots him, and that's the second Uber right push from Swift that looks really iffy.
It's interesting, so Yak's trying to play really aggressive to get damage on the Uber before they come in, and that's a double-edged sword, right, because it does mean he doesn't have sticks on point probably if he's going to jump away, as you did see Scruff getting onto the point really early there before there was any sticks up, but the soldiers denied Scruff so well that it basically meant that Yak got free damage on the Uber, and the Uber did very, very little, as MONGI mode are going to come in from flowers here, and we're going to take quite an aggressive fight. Thomas will go down, it's 5v5, but Lucas has also died in choke. There's a scout behind making so much space, players three up for either team. But actually, Seeds fan will die, and it's only Yak and Turret left alive.
It looked like a really good fight for MONGI mode, but I feel like the better DM maybe got the better end for Swift. And Scruff now is getting aggressive onto Yak, and Torre gets nice shots onto Yak. He's getting help us. I think there was Classy as well came, and that fight goes into the favor of Swift for some reason, even though Lucas was died really early onto that mid fight, and Swift, they were able to scrap the better end, and the Uber is being used by Torrid. They get 2 frags. He just has the Uber of his own, and Torrid was too committed here. He dies as well. Maybe nice, worse understanding of the situation here from the red medic, because that looked like a good Uber, but at some point you have to understand when you have to give up. And Sweet doesn't know when to give up because he just goes in, gets 2 frags, almost 3, but Lucas puts an end to his bloodshed.
But the collapse there so strong from MONGI mode after the really... actually though, Lucas is just piping everyone. He's like gone behind. I think he got at least two pipe kills there. And that could have been really, really bad for Swift, but Lucas just putting his stamp on the game there, hitting a lot of shots and making sure that even though he's only a demo on his own, he'll get stuff done.
Yeah, I feel like Swift right now are winning just on raw DM, and the pipe from Lucas were a perfect highlight for that. And that raw DM is enough for Swift to take that advantage. They already got a frag onto up to the drive pushing onto the left side. The bomb from Gink and Papi completely mulching everybody. And now it's only Sweet and Matt, but they can't do anything against the might from Swift. And that drive push was such a nice showing of what Swift can do when they coordinate really well. It's
so clinical from Gink. Every time on these pushes you see Swift come in left side with pretty much 5 of their players, and they make so much space, so much chaos, that there's a certain point in the fight where nobody's is caring about Gink at all, and he will just come in right side, and then that's the moment where he hits 3 huge rockets on whoever it is and just basically wins the fight from them on his own, because he's just, no one's looking at the Roma, so he will get the frags.
11 minutes now for MONGI mode to try to make a comeback. This is going to be a bit tough for them, and Swift is trying to take that mid-fight a bit conservatively. Only Gink bombed in, but it was a decoy. It didn't really bomb into Yak and Torre. And Torre is already extremely weak, 60 HP, while Seed is full health, and somehow that fight with the help of Sweet, goes maybe in the favor of Monkey Mode. Matt kills Siege through some spam, and now Gink behind tries to go for Torrid. Torrid is super weak, 20 HP, gets almost cleaned up. It gets cleaned up by Pappy, but that's probably almost the better results for Monkey Mode here. They finally got the mid, and maybe they're in the situation where they can try to make a comeback.
Yeah, Monkey Mode seemed to be playing position a lot better on most of these mids. Like, I mean, at that time we saw Swift try to take their right side, but they were all very grouped up, and Monkey Mode spread out really, really nicely, which meant that they had just a lot more space and room to maneuver, but eventually there was enough damage to actually kill out turret, so it was a fairly even fight at the end of it. As we do see Monkey Mode trying to make a kind of dry push into the second here, but they didn't really have any heals because turret was a spawner, and they all just feed basically 3 players and Yak as well.
Oh no!
It's a tragedy, Ombrack.
Yeah, they just got so carried away. They all went in one by one without any heals. You mentioned that, and they basically are giving the round to Swift right now because I think they know they're behind, and they're maybe getting a little stressed out by how the situation is going for them. They know it's a bit dire, but I feel like right now they're just digging their own grave, and it's gonna be even Uber situation. But we've seen that Swift, they don't really care about even situation. They have better DM. They are really confident in their abilities, and especially Lucas. So we'll see how they want to do that. Yak once more piling up damage onto that balcony, but in the end they're just trading damages. It doesn't really do anything, and Lucas as well trying to put some sticky, trying to show who's the better demo man right now. And it could be just a battle of spam for the remaining of the map, unless Yak gets bored and try to make something.
Yeah, and just going back to that aggressive push after mid, I mean, it's kind of heartbreaking to see it because a lot of the mistakes and the reasons that, you know, Monkey Mode have lost rounds in this map have often been their own. Like, they had a really good mid to begin with, and they've been messing up like tiny things, like where turret dropped Yak earlier on, and I know if they could just, they don't need to take more risks. They need to play more clinically when they do have the advantages. But at the moment, they kind of feel they're getting a little bit desperate, just trying to play really quite aggressively, which is actually working out for them. They will just take a ton of space, Scruff will go down, and the Uber is forced off from Speeds. I don't know why they've counter-popped here, it's kind of a pointless Uber, didn't really need to use it, but they will be chasing all the way into mid, and they are going to be able to probably chase this all the way if they get in quickly.
But they need more people in right now because they're not really healthy, especially getting 14 HP. Can't go into that fight, so Monkey Mode, they need to take space. They're taking ground really quickly now, but look at Swift, they don't care about that. They're going through choke once more. They know it's not being held properly by Monkey Mode. They're trying to go in to contest that cap. The bomb is coming from Opti, getting Lucas extremely weak, but Lucas doesn't die, and he's gonna get health really shortly. And no, he actually dies to another rocket from Matt. Well played now, and without a demo, considering how Monkey Mode have been playing until now, they may try to burst in, and Joseph is taking the heals. He's gonna butt through Cafe. You're gonna see that in any second now. He's getting helped by Thomas, but look at that, he's getting launched into the air. Gink and Pappy are holding that door tight, and that was a nice attempt. Sweet and Matt maybe make that an even fight, but without a scouts now, it's gonna be really tough for Monkey Mode to make something happen.
Yeah, you can see Monkey Mode just trying to prod and poke at every possible opportunity here, but they will eventually be rebuffed by the aggression from the Swift soldiers, even though they both did die. They got by the scouts on the side of Monkey Mode. As, I mean, really just going back a good 2 minutes there was a point where Torret, oh god, the counterpop was just so pointless. I mean, they had high ground. There was no way they're going to catch them with the Uber, and there was no way that they needed to pop at all. Torret just kind of getting over eager to chase, and the Uber was never really going to do anything. So it's kind of a huge missed opportunity. That's kind of what I've been saying. They need to execute properly, not trying to make something out of nothing.
Gink once more on Sniper, already got a frag onto Opti, so now the flank is maybe open for Swift if they wanna try to go in. The Uber is being used onto Yak and Thomas, and if it's a trade, maybe they shouldn't commit that much body, because Yak now is gonna be caught out of position right now. Yeah, he's gonna probably die to Scruff. Was it probably really easy to figure out, but somehow they made that mistake. And now that fight should go in favor of Swift if they play that correctly, because there's no demo onto Monkey Mode. Opti tried to bomb in, but he was completely alone. And Matt once more getting the frag onto Pappy, really well here from Matt. Maybe gonna deny that push. Lucas was just standing still here forever, waiting for that arrow. And I think he's AFK, yeah, he's good, because he was just standing still, and the bomb from Matt didn't make him move by an inch.
I mean, credit to MONGI
but
Mode
without
here.
a demo, they won that fight.
Yeah, well, MONGI Mode, they're not giving up at any opportunity really here. They know that their back's against the wall and they really have to try and make something this round as quickly as possible. So they're really going balls to the wall in every fight, and it's credit to them, but they're not quite managing to make it work at the moment. Yak is going to go super deep here, pretty much without any support. They're just really going at it, but it's not looking likely as Swift do have the superior positioning. So, you know, MONGI Mode, they've actually trying to, actually with a huge headshot from Gink, that's probably going to shut down the push now.
Sweet on the flanks, trying to go for, he doesn't know, he doesn't know, do I go for the medic, do I go for the sniper? In the end he goes for none, and he's just now stuck behind. The Uber is being popped by seeds. I think there was a bomb from someone, I guess, who came in. I think I saw a jumping soldier onto seeds. But now Torre is nowhere to have his own Uber as well, so we've seen dry pushes from Swift before. And I mean, 5 minutes, they have nothing. They're probably safe right now, so they're probably going to try another dry push because they know if Gink can get a frag, an entry frag, this is going to be a highway to a 4th round for them.
Yep. But we do see MONGI Mode. Thomas just going aggressive into the lobby. I have no idea what his plan was there, but they're going for every single kind of play they could possibly can. And at the moment, Swift kind of just have realized this, and they're just playing as a blob, and it's really not working. So we kind of see. I mean, this game needn't have been a 4-0 at this point, but it could easily be a 3-0, right? But because MONGI Mode know they have to take so many risks to get back into it, they've just cost themselves that round.
And I think I said 5 win 27 minutes, Eemes, so I have 2 minutes to make that prediction.
Did you say
correct.
27 minutes?
I did. So we'll see how it goes on that 5th minute on that first map onto Sunshine. I'm expecting Yak to go really deep really quickly as soon as he gets arrow, but he doesn't get arrow. That baby step was sad to see, because now it's going to be a better fight from Swift. The bomb is coming from Papi again. He's trying to take the eyes out of Lucas, and Sui and Joseph are dead, so now it should be an easy fight for Swift, and an easy fight it is. And the chase should come really quickly. We see already Lucas and Papi onto the flank. Torret kind of beefed that jump onto balcony, but that was probably enough for Swift not to push, apparently.
That was a really weird play from Classy there. I think he thought that all of his team was chasing, and he just tried to lead the charge, just barreling straight into MONGI Mode. Basically just fed completely alone because none of Swift were in, so he was just completely isolated and went down. And I've seen that maybe a couple of times as from Classy, just kind of getting a little bit too aggressive when he doesn't need to. As Yak will actually go down, but U has been forced. Much worse Uber from Swift here, as Thomas is going to chase really deep into choke here. He's got a nice shot onto Seeds, and but he will actually not get him, and Turret is going to have to leave through choke. And he will not be able to... Oh, nice little surf out, so that's nicely played from Turret.
The health is really bad now because Turret is weak, he can't commit to a fight. He's getting bombed, he's getting killed, and he should be at the end now. Yak is bombing in, getting piped by Joseph, and Seeds claims a frag onto Opti. They have 20 seconds for 17 minutes 5-0. Do it, boys!
It's possible. They are coming in top right here, and Ombrack's prediction may well be correct. Lucas is going to be trying to bust in, but actually Thomas has got a nice frag onto Gink. Classy's playing point, getting so much cap
Lucas, what are
time.
you doing? Lucas, push!
Yeah, if only he knew.
I've been betrayed. I don't know if I can take it anymore now. I may have to ask for a sub because I'm extremely disappointed. Thomas on sniper is getting the frag onto Scruff. 3 minutes now. This is probably gonna be the time for these players to go for some nice frags, because there's nothing that MONGI Mode can claim out of this map anymore. They have the Uber ride, they're gonna push extremely soon. The Uber is used underneath onto Papi. Thomas is juking the rockets forever. Papi needed 5 rockets to kill the sniper, and he basically baited all that Uber. The bomb is coming once more from Papi. Only needs 3 rockets to get that turret. He was completely oblivious to that push, and that's it. 5-0 for Swift, and
28 minutes.
27 in 30 seconds actually. I wasn't too far off.
Not bad, not bad.
But yeah, that win is pretty logical.
It is indeed. I mean, we saw glimpses of nice moments from MONGI Mode. And they had the potential to maybe win some fights, but it was always just one player or another making a small little mistake, and then they would eventually get pushed back and not able to make the most out of the opportunities that they did get. It's unfortunate for them.
So before going into logs, we'll see if we have time, but you mentioned that, if I understand correctly what you said, basically Swift played up the mistake from MONGI Mode.
Sure, yeah.
We've seen some. It was interesting to see that. So we saw some mistakes early in the game. So for example, when Torre dropped Yak, and I feel like those mistakes affected the way Monkey Mode played afterwards. Because remember when Torre popped that really questionable Uber when Seeds used his own, and it was probably he probably had that drop earlier in the back of his head, and he said, "I dropped Yak before. I'm not gonna do it again." But this time there was no risk at all. So probably the early mistakes piled up onto their minds, and then it's really hard to get out of them.
Yeah, I mean, the score didn't really reflect it, but the first 15 minutes were actually pretty back and forth, pretty close. So I didn't really think that MONGI Mode needed to change their style at all. They just needed to try and tighten up, their individual play and make slightly few mistakes and, execute slightly better. And that would have been, probably the way for them to maybe get back into the game. But as it was, they tried to sort of change their play style to play a lot more messy and sort of aggressive, which is kind of just playing into Swift's hand, particularly when they probably have the stronger DM over the board.
And what do you think it means for that second map? Because product is a Koth map, and I mean, Koth is a lot about DM. So do you think it's a bit bleak for Monkey Mode, or is there any hope for them?
No, I think there's probably more hope for them on product, to be honest, because well, it was their lack of cohesion and a few small errors that cost them on this map mostly. Whereas if they evidently like playing scrappy DM fights, and that's kind of their plan, so they might be able to just make a lot of chaos in this map and make it hard for Swift to kind of control the game like they did. But I still expect Swift to win, but I'm gonna say 3-1 to Swift.
Oh, so you think they're gonna the run? I don't know what to think about it, because so you had the logs on your screen, and we've seen that Yak died a lot. He had a really poor ratio, and it's really, in that situation, it's really hard to know who to blame, if I may say so. Like, is it Torret's fault? Is it Yak's fault? It's probably more of a combo situation, actually, more than someone individually. But there are some pretty blatant issues to fix for Monkey Mode right now.
Yeah, definitely. They I just think Yak is having a tough time in general. Yak and Turret, to be honest. Like, Yak is getting caught out a lot, and probably same with Turret. And they're just, they're not in sync. Along with maybe, Thomas is doing okay, but if your Demo and Medic are dead all the time, then you can't really play Pocket Scout like you want to. You're gonna struggle.
Yeah, we actually saw Thomas a lot of time in the backlines trying to flank, because had no Demo or Medic to protect because one of them was dead. But both Thomas and Suya had actually a good game on Sunshine, so maybe it's gonna serve them well onto product. But yeah, I feel like Torret and Yak need some kind of couple therapy to figure out what the issues are, because if they keep out like this, especially on product where your Demo can really be targeted and focused down by the enemy team, if they don't figure that out, it's gonna be really tough for them. So you mentioned Classy is filling in for Mon, who was famous for
he's actually main now.
Yeah. I mean, Mon was the origin. Actually, Samzy was the original main for that team. Then it was Mon, and then it was Classy. And when they played with Mon, obviously they played with a sniper, and I don't think they can replicate that as much now. So do you think we will see a sniper really quickly?
It's possible. I think Pappy doesn't mind going scout. He's very decent at it. But no, I don't really know, to be honest. I assume not. I played with them the other day and they didn't go sniper, so I assume not. And I think I just crashed, so
ooh, it's happening. We'll see how it goes. This cookie cutter lineup right now. Pappy is trying to take the rock onto. He's just above Joseph. Joseph is completely unaware of that positioning from Pappy, and the 3 frags are coming into the hands of Swift. They claim 2, and only Joseph reciprocates with a frag on his own onto Pappy, but this is looking a bit bleak. Joseph once more completely disconnected from Torre. How did they not fix that? Yak was main while Torre was bottom left, already trying to go back to his respawn, so Yeah, that was a pretty clean round, mid-fight, not round yet, not quite yet, but a clean mid-fight for Swift, and now they're gonna take the position. Are you back on the server,
I
Mr.
am
Eemes?
here, yes. I will take your word for it that it was a clean mid-fight, as we do see even Eemes fight here. And actually, Yak will go down to a nice sticky draft from Lucas. So much damage onto the point. Turret drops the scout, and he will actually have to force. And Siege is surely not going to get popping. Yeah, he's not going to pop into this. Actually, Matt will go really deep for it. He's going to hit a nice rocket onto somebody, but it was not Seeds. So, and smart from MONGI not to actually cap there, but Turret has actually gone down to Gink, who waited all the way behind for him, and he will kill Yak as well. So this is not
that
a good
smart enough to
start.
cap right now, because they're gonna end up not capping at all. So I can see the idea behind that, but sometimes you have to realize what your situation is. And now this is gonna be a forward hold. This is a classic hold onto that map with 2 soldiers on the left side, while the demo man is holding the right with some stickies on his own. So maybe a pyro. No pyro here. Oh, actually, look at MONGI. They're just trying to brute force their way onto that side, but Thomas is getting completely marched and now mad as well. And I don't really know what happened. So Opti went behind, but he's gonna get cleaned up, because what can one soldier do onto product when 2 scouts are chasing you, and only Gink died to sweep. I don't really understand what was the idea behind going main like that.
Well, I mean, they did get 1 frag, so they have effectively broken the forward hold, which is, I mean, it's not nothing. And they will have, you know, they got 75%. They haven't taken Uber trade here fairly soon once they've got it. They just need to make sure that your turret doesn't actually get caught out before getting the Uber. He's only 85 now, and he's actually playing really quite aggressive on point, so it could be dangerous for him. But Pappy has actually gone down, trying to make a play, and that's actually looking pretty good for MONGI, who have actually taken this point pretty much for free without even using.
A lot of respect given by Swift to MONGI mode, or maybe it was just a bait play. We'll see how it goes in the coming seconds. Uber should be traded soon, or maybe Swift is going to try to take that point without using like MONGI mode did a couple of seconds before. And actually, this is what's happening. This is a 6v6, and somehow MONGI mode is just pressing S. Ubers are being traded, but already 2 casualties onto the side of MONGI mode. I don't really know what happened here, but it looks so dominant for Swift right now. Thomas completely disconnected, he's getting cleaned up. Lucas is completely... Torrent gets a frag onto Gink, and Sis has the Uber, so yeah, that...
But Scruff's going to take this huge Uber deep into spawn. He's trying to get Torrent, but he will get juggled so hard. And actually, Scruff is going to continue to go in, but he will have to leave finally. Nicely juggled from Yak there. Although Lucas will get a nice frag onto Matt, so it's going to be a really hard push up for MONGI mode. Yak's going to go really deep here, but Lucas gets another frag onto Sui, and it's only Yak up pretty much. He's going to get fragged by the scout. Actually, there has a scout. Scout has actually come out of spawn, but he will also die to the Scruff. So that's basically, I mean, scrappy DM fights. But what we saw before that was, again, Torrent had Uber, and they tried to walk over point, and then they dropped 2 players, and then they Ubered, and it was an absolutely horrendous Uber. So they really need to like have a plan for these Ubers and execute it instead of just kind of waiting around and then ending up losing 2 players, which they've done twice now with 2 Ubers.
And they lost another one. Gink is on sniper. I think he's probably the main guy to watch when there's a sniper onto Swift. He gets another frag onto Opti as well, who was trying to go on the back lines, tried to go onto the frag. Lucas dies, but in the end it's a 4v2, so it's gonna be a bit bad for MONGI mode. And yeah, that fight, they managed to cap the point, but 10 seconds on the clock now for Swift. It should be a round for them. They're delaying a bit to get better spawners, and I can't help to think about that fight where they had the point, Uber were even, and MONGI mode just pressed S and let Swift go onto them. So I feel like there wasn't the best idea here. MONGI mode put up a desperation fight onto that middle point, but nothing is gonna come out of this, nothing good except better locks for Swift. And this is gonna be the first round, and that was really dominant. I feel like for Swift. Yes, MONGI mode had 1 minute on the timer, but overall it was a really dominant round for Swift.
Yeah, I mean, MONGI mode really need to just kind of take a breather there. Just reset. It's possible that, you know, there's some tension in the comms at this point, but they just need to just calm it down and just play methodically and not start tilting just because they've had a few questionable Ubers. Just try and play their game, as we do see this second mid.
Stickies are being ready. Thomas is going extremely aggressive onto the point, and the bomb from Gink as well, trading some damage. 1 casualty on both sides, so Torrent is actually extremely weak, but somehow Swift is the one leaving the battlefield, because they have worse numbers, so somehow that fight went better. I don't really see how it happened. I saw Thomas being extremely aggressive onto the point. The bomb is coming from Pappy, gets 1 rocket, but can't get the second direct, and
a lot closer on that bomb than it should have been from Pappy onto the turret there. I mean, turret really could have, I know, somehow been in a safer position with both scouts alive, but Nicely played by Swift there. I mean, and by MONGI mode there, although Seeds did survive that mid, so it will be even Ubers here. And a 30-second advantage for MONGI mode, as actually they're going to play really aggressive on point. They're going to Uber in aggressively here. Lucas is actually pretty weak, but the Seeds will pop it off, and it's a much better Uber for Swift. And they're going to chase pretty aggressively here. Torrent might actually be caught out. He's taking so much damage, he will go down to Scruff, and now Swift can just back up, and they're going to be probably safe and sound, although Yak is going to bomb really deep. They're trying to get in the counter chase here.
Yeah, it's as if well, Classy takes a 1v1 against Yak onto the point and he wins this. But it's as if MONGI mode was aware they had an Uber rat, but they didn't take it deep enough to actually make it count. So Seeds had the Uber when Yak was on his face. So kind of unfortunate reading here, nice unfortunate timing maybe. I don't really know how it happened, but sweep behind, try to get a frag onto Pappy, and considering how the spawn works, maybe it's a good idea to get a not a good idea, a bad idea to trade frags because they had the middle point. So I don't know how to feel about that. And now the bomb is coming from Yak. He gets close to 0 damage onto Seeds, and now Torrid is alone. And this is what you mentioned. This is probably the exact time now where MONGI mode, they have to reset and they have to accept. You can have some quiet time, if I may call them like that, on product where you just reset and you just do a sack wave. And so far we've only seen them committing 6 bodies to Seeds.
Oh no, Gink gets the frag onto Yak, even though, I mean, he's just hiding in a corner, and the soldier went through first, but somehow he's not spotted. So that's actually, I mean, that is definitely the kind of thing that's going to make Yak, as main caller, just start fuming.
And well, I mean, they died, so they wasted enough time for Torrid to get the Uber, and the forward hold is still going. Matt is bombing onto Seeds, gets him to 50 HP, but it gets cleaned up eventually, and Thomas is as well. The Uber is being used by Torrid. I missed that. I don't think that's really good play here from either Yak or Torrid, and because Seeds is nowhere to being forced. The bomb coming, Lucas likes to sweep, but that's not enough for Seeds to use, and the more the timer goes down, the bleaker? Is that an English word?
Sure, yeah.
The bleaker it looks for MONGI mode.
The bleaker it becomes for them. And I mean, once again, we see Torrid popping an Uber when 2 or 3 of those players on his team are down. Although Seeds has actually done the same here. They're going to go really aggressive onto Torrid, trying to get the frag. Pappy will kill him finally, but they're going to have to back up here because they will be pretty much surrounded. Huge effort from Opti onto Pappy actually, and he will go down. Really nicely played from Opti. As actually Matt is also chasing him deep onto the cliffside here. Going to get some nice rockets onto Scruff, but he will actually go down in the end. And Sneak is taking a fight with Thomas. Thomas is not hitting the shot. Finally, he will cleaning up. So that's actually really nicely played from Thomas, chasing all the way to spawn, but he's getting the frag in the end.
That was close. This kind of trade I'm okay with. When you get the medic, it's okay to trade with your life. But yeah, now it's gonna be a slight Uber ad, but Uber ad on this map doesn't really matter, does it? It's more about number and positioning, and a 10% Uber ad doesn't mean anything right now, because look at once more MONGI mode. They're all so far back, even though they had the heals onto the fight before Seeds was even there, so a lot of this, I feel like there's a lack of understanding of the map overall onto MONGI mode right now. They don't really know when to go and when to come back, and this is what's hurting them the most right now.
Although it is a nice kill from Yak onto Scruff there. I mean, with the Thomas pick down, they just had to play so passive that they get up the point kind of for free. But they will be able to bully it out now once again with that pick from Yak onto Scruff. And actually Pappy will go down as well onto this cliffside. It's actually pretty nicely played. And contrary to what we were thinking at the start of this map with the completely dominant round, actually MONGI mode are looking pretty good to start winning this round. Actually, they will Uber in. I don't really know why they've done this. Oh, Seeds is 90. Oh my god, that's huge. Seeds was 99 there.
I think that was a Halle hoop. He died onto the ring. So that's a 3 points for MONGI mode. And now the fight is going maybe onto their side, but no, they're all weak. It's only Sui and Thomas, so the DM has to speak right now. And they tried to get one frag, but Sui got isolated, and now it's only Thomas. Can he get even one frag? He can't. And in the end, another extremely aggressive Uber from MONGI mode. It looked good, but it looks like the rapid plays from Swift are just better.
Yeah, well, that is always the issue when you chase that deep. Particularly if you drop players, then you're just going to end up with most of the enemy team above you, healthy, and just ready to collapse on your Uber when you have basically no ammo as well. So it's going to be a really rough after fight in that situation, even if you do get the medic. And as you see, even Uber's here, decent time advantage for MONGI mode, and they're going to go really aggressive here onto point, but Opti has actually gone down. The scrappy fight on point, Pappy's playing very aggressive in connector, and he will get a frag from Thomas, and Lucas has actually gone so aggressive onto them. Oh my god, huge play from Lucas. He's just going to get 2, and that's that could potentially be curtains for MONGI mode in this round, with Seeds now having a full Uber advantage.
And they somehow won a raw DM fight with a sniper who didn't land a single headshot, so that can happen. I I thought Monkey Mode would take that one just because Gink was on sniper, but somehow Lucas proved me wrong and completely mulched and plowed through Monkey Mode. Monkey Mode is trying to go in, even though the Uber is being used by Seeds now, but they need to stay around, try to bait that Uber and try to play the cap if they can. Joseph's dive, so not demo, it's going to be a bit tough now for Monkey Mode. Can they claim fly? Everybody's weak on Swift, look at the HP, they have 10 HP combined, and they actually, Monkey Mode is trying to get that fight, getting the cap, but it's a really unfavored match right now. Torrid dives, he was the most forward of his team until that point, and now Opti dives as well with Thomas, and Swift is gonna get that round, and that was extremely close. Maybe Yak is onto something because that round was so much closer than the previous one.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of a heartbreaker round really for Monkey Mode. Like they got so close, but just that one fight at the end that they lost. They didn't just lose a fight; they lost it catastrophically with losing Turret, and it just meant it was so hard for them right at the death there to win that fight against the Uber. As we do see another pause, potentially. I was informed that last time it was Lucas timing out, so potentially that's happened again. But hopefully they'll be back in the server fairly quickly.
So right now, Eemes, your Yak, I mean you're a version of Yak with more brain and less DM. What do you do now to try to go back into that game? Because if Swift wins the next round, this is it.
I'm sorry, I can't answer your question until I ask you a question. What do you mean less DM? Oh my god.
Okay, I guess we'll go back into that third round then, and we'll keep that question for later. I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
Livid right now.
And there's a sniper in the hands of King. Bomb is coming from Ging. Oh, actually no. Oh no, I'm being memed by my HUD. I apologize. There was no sniper. There was a rock launcher into the end of Ging, and that fight is going in the favor of Monkey. But Lucas completely alone. Not with help. He's getting help by Scruff, and Thomas was kind of alone. And look at Monkey Mode. They're being so aggressive. They're trying to see if they can catch Seeds out of position, but they can't. And for once, they realize they need to press S at the right timing, and they leave. And this is actually a good fight for them, and I think this is the really first clean fight in favor of Monkey Mode.
There's a nice mid again from Monkey Mode, as actually Yak will get scruffed before this Uber trade is going to happen, and Ubers will be popped, and they have killed both scouts actually, so that's really horrible for Swift here. Lucas is going to go get juggled. This is when Lucas timed out, so that's unfortunate for Swift. This is where the pause happened. But yeah, it's just nothing doing for Swift, and Ging will be hiding in house, so he could potentially catch someone out if they try and forward hold. But yeah, just, I mean, Yak, even before Lucas timed out there, both scouts were killed by Yak. With some, I think one was a sticky trap and one was just some nice coordinated spam, and him getting hit by a scout as well on left side, so really nicely played by him.
Ubers are the same, numbers are the same, this is a perfectly even fight. Small difference, Monkey Mode has the point, so we've seen them before being a bit too respectful maybe of Swift, and I feel like they're trying to get that same way, but no, Yak is now trying to get over the point, but Classy claims 2 frags of his own, and this could mean the end of that fight for Monkey Mode. Turret behind, Classy gets another one. Classy is just relentless, and he claims a 4th one. Classy is on fire, gets 4 frags, wins that fight for his team, and now it's going to be a forward hold for Swift.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, with 1 minute 30 on the clock compared to Swift's 3 minutes, all that Monkey Mode really need to do this round is just not lose a fight by a huge margin. Just keep their medic alive, don't just get crushed in any fight. But that's exactly what happened there. You know, Tossy busting the flank, getting 2 frags, and then everyone else is just not looking at him at all, and he gets cleaned up.
King is behind, and he was in spawn. Matt was in spawn, he didn't see him. The bomb comes, Pappy. This is a mulch. What is this fight?
But Torret will actually, is he going to survive? Okay, Torret did actually live there, I assume, although Thomas is going in. I mean, Monkey Mode just really want to run into this cliff area. I don't really see why. There was no Swift players at all on right side if they wanted to walk through, but they decided not to, and now Swift have eventually rotated. So Swift is completely, they're just reading Monkey Mode like a book here.
And it looks like Matt knows the ending of that book. He got the frag onto Gink, and by doing so, they're breaking the fold hold. Ubers are even. There's a 1 down, and there's a Pyro in the hands of Thomas. So how is it gonna happen? Because Pyro is a bit weaker now with the new whitelist. He doesn't have detonator of the Scorch Torch. I think that's the name. I'm not really well versed into pop. Oh, okay. And but yeah, we see the Pyro. I don't really know what they try to accomplish with that. There's a sniper. Sniper is looking at Torre. Torre was body shot almost to death. He's on death throes right now, and he uses the Uber, but he has to go back. The health is terrible. Gink gets another frag, a nice headshot onto Thomas does as well. No Pyro. It's only Opti, Joseph and Torre now, and they need to go back. Lucas being aggressive, nice pipe onto Torre, and the off-class game was won by Ging.
But in the middle of that, Seeds did go down. I'm not actually sure how. He has put an NS in chat, so maybe he got a shot. So that is a silver lining for MONGI mode. They will need to try and take this fight pretty aggro here if they can want to win this, because they are 40 seconds behind. Gink is just, he's scoped up, he's on China, and he's ready to hit some heads as, you know, MONGI mode are approaching this point. They really need to try and shut down Gink if they're going to make anything out of this push.
Yeah, because right now they're just going straight onto Gink's scope, so I don't feel like this is the best answer for them. But somehow Gink put himself in the situation where he can't really aim for anyone. I think he was just trying to juke Opti, and now he gets his angle down. He gets one frag. Yak is 20 HP. He probably has to go back as well. Gink, he has everybody under control. He sees everything. He's a god. He sees everything.
He's omniscient. He's an all-seeing eye from atop that China, and there's just, I mean, it was looking fairly back and forth fairly even before the sniper, but now once again MONGI mode kind of just don't seem to know what their real plan is. They're going to Uber in on Yak, going really deep here, trying to get the force. And oh my god, huge head drop from King. Oh wow, that's going to really put the nail in the coffin for SVIFT here, for MONGI mode here, really, with them only 2 players up. Thomas is going to need to go huge.
He's getting helped by Matt. They're 2 against 3, and they have no heals. Seeds is still alive. He's going to pump the heals onto Lucas and Scruff. Scruff gets 1. They get the cap, but it's probably actually smarter to let Matt cap and then get the recap, because it's quicker to cap back than to try to hold it forever. Sui is trying to contest it as well. He's getting helped by the rest of his teammates. This fight is going forever. 1 minute 30 seconds for MONGI mode if they want to take that. Gink on heavy is just gonna mulch everybody if he keeps up like this. The frag onto Torre, and this is it. This is another round. This is a 3-0 SVIFT, and I feel like MONGI mode, they put up a fair fight, but in the end, SVIFT was just a better team.
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't like MONGI mode didn't have chances, but just overall the aggregate of the mistakes they made was just way too much, particularly on product, where every time you do something badly, it's going to cost you hugely for the round. You can't make too many big mistakes like they did, and yeah, just the playmaking from SVIFT was too strong for them.
So SVIFT takes claims another win. 2 weeks, two wins for 2 6-0 wins actually for SVIFT. So pretty good start of the season for them. But I feel like even though we mentioned how MONGI mode had a rough start this season in their fixtures, I feel like there's like if we look a bit further, their mistakes are so big that they are easily fixable. They're so obvious that it's probably easy to fix, and I have good hope for them for the rest of the season if they manage to fix that.
I have good hope for them as long as, you know, Yak and Torre don't just end up murdering each other or removing each other on Steam, because there's just so much hate between them when one or the other of them makes a mistake and messes things up. But you know, I think there'll be some content to be had from that game, even though the scoreline looks pretty bleak for Yak and his boys.
And we're going to take a quick look at the logs, and it's pretty easy to see who was the MVP on that map. Look at Lucas' stat lines. It's just out of this world. Nice damage, nice ratio. It barely died compared to Yak, who died 18 times, so that's almost 4 times the number of deaths of Lucas. It's probably where the difference happened between the two demos.
We see 3 different players on SVIFT getting up to 400 DPM on that map. Scruff, Gink, not even Pappy, but Gink on the sniper and heavy sometimes, and just Gink just playing out of his mind there. Pappy just kind of playing the solid pocket on the rock, just spamming people and just like holding his team together. But Gink was just free to make plays every time. I know they had an aggressive fight or they busted the flank. Gink was just in there making things happen, and also, you know, sniping, obviously hitting a lot of headshots. So, and then again, Scruff on the pocket scout just cleaning everyone up, taking such brutal Ubers. And just nice and play from SVIFT across the board, really.
Well, on the other side of the scoreboard, it's a pretty rough game for both Opti and Mathis. We know how product can be unforgiving for soldiers, but this is probably the best example of that. Both of them going extremely negative. It's maybe not a map for them. We'll see how it goes against next week. But I guess we're gonna get some people onto that channel so we can ask them some questions. I see some people waiting for us, so I'm gonna drag them down.
Get them in.
So we have from Swift Gaming, Pappy and Classy. Well, I think Yak was a representative of MONGI. So welcome, guys, and first congratulations to Pappy and Classy. Was pretty convincing win, Pappy.
We've also got Matt waiting.
Yeah.
Did you expect to win like that after Monkey Mode had a close game yesterday against Ascent?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised it was close. I mean, not close today, sorry. I thought it'd be closer. But, I don't know. Did we even win Mids on Sunshine? I don't remember. Let me check. Not really. So, I don't really know. We kind of played slow. I just wanted everyone to chill out. We won.
And Classy, I think this is your first game in Prem. How did you feel any different than for any other game? How did you go into that onto that first official in Prem?
I thought I would be more nervous, but I was probably more nervous when I was playing mid grand final. So.
Okay, you've heard it first. Mid is tougher than Prem, confirmed by Classy himself.
Yep.
And we also, so you mentioned Mathis joined us with Yak. Commiserations, guys. So yeah, yesterday we've seen you playing against Ascent, and I think it was way closer than people expected, especially on Snake. How did you go into that second official? Because you arguably have a really tough start this season.
I think that yesterday we played the game, and then today we played a completely different game.
Can you maybe elaborate on that?
Well, yesterday I didn't get dropped 6 times on the first map.
Okay, so I can see. Yeah, we mentioned that actually with Eemes at some point. Really early, you chased. I think it was Thomas, you, and Torret chased onto lobby, and the Ubers.
It was going to be fucking
Torret.
huge. It was going to be so huge.
So no, I'm not to put some shame onto Torret, but do you feel like the earlier mistakes from Sunshine kind of made you more impatient or more prone to other mistakes on the second half of the map?
I think Matt can answer that. He can, yeah.
Yeah, literally that specific play you mentioned. After that, literally everything just went to complete shit. Like, our comms weren't necessarily bad until the last, 10 minutes, where it seemed like we just kind of gave up. Like, Yak was fucking screaming at Toilet harder than I've ever heard anybody scream. And we just started fucking feeding, and we weren't playing like he normally do at all.
Once it was 4-0, I was just like, yeah, we've lost this map, and I started just feeding because it's funny.
What situation are you on about that happened in the lobby?
So you wouldn't have been able to see it from your perspective in the same way as us, I imagine, but we'd killed 2 or 3 of you. You guys had a shit Uber. I just wanted Torret to pop on me because I could have juggled your med. You guys were leaving with your Uber, we hadn't popped. I was wanting to chase, and then I just get fucking dropped. Tow Uber's in with Torret because...
Oh, I know
exactly. That one.
Yeah. You were by Shutter, my team's
I got fucking dropped. I was like,
oh, is that what you won the stairs?
No, they were on next to Shutter, outside
their
of Shutter.
Their team was leaving, yeah.
Yeah, we were leaving.
It was an absolute tragedy because up until that point you were going pretty evenly, and that could have really been a round if you'd actually got anything out of it. But
it was 2-0 at that point, though, wasn't it?
I mean,
it was 2 or 3-0, I think.
Yeah, it was
no, it wasn't. It was 1-0 or 0-0.
Yeah,
it
was fairly early on.
It was 1-0, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it kind of, I felt like if you hadn't crumbled in your belief in yourselves, it could have been a lot closer. But you kind of saw the score and were just like, all right, it's over. Would you agree that was?
No, I think that it was more the way that we played and the fact that we played so much better yesterday than we did today. We didn't play the game in at all the same way. It's not because of the scoreline, because yesterday, even when we were 4-1 down on Sunshine, we were still trying to play the game and still trying to get rounds. It's just the fact that we were playing like dog shit, so we sort of just were so dejected and out the game.
So that happened on the first map. Do you think it kind of broke your spirit going into product? Because we've seen the first one was kind of easy round for Swift, but the second 2 were actually really close. So do you think that the ending on Sunshine kind of put you on the back foot going into product, or what happened?
I don't think it would have done, but then I think that tensions were already high. and then it just took like 1 or 2 bad things to happen on Viaduct, and the stuff just came out again. So, I don't know.
And Pappy, so you've been playing with Mon until extremely recently, and when Mon is there, obviously on product he plays sniper, and Classy doesn't have the same abilities as Mon. So did you?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Did you had to adapt in any way to the fact that Classy is now playing for Mon, or did you just didn't care about it?
Just didn't play sniper anymore, I guess. And if we do, I roam. So I'm kind of used to roaming on this map. It's what I always played in teams.
So it didn't really change anything?
Not really, just the fact that Gink snipes if we do snipe, but I don't really like sniper on this map. If you play against a good team, they just destroy you. So I think it's kind of worthless practicing it because you're only going to beat teams who aren't coordinated. If teams like coordinated and good, they'll just run you over with aggression. So I don't know.
We just got called shit. No.
I don't know, Eemes, if you have more questions about this particular fixture.
I think it's been covered, to be honest.
Okay, so going on to week 3, Matt, you're playing against the French team that came from playoffs as well as you did. Is it time for a rebound?
5-0 both maps.
For them?
I guess it's product, but whatever.
To whom?
To us.
Okay, so you win. You're confident you can fix on your communication issues?
Yeah, 100%.
We'll see. We'll see what happens next week.
What
knows?
does secret lie behind these words, Yak?
You'll have to see.
Oh, you're teasing us. You're ruthless. And
there's a
I know
player
a good
in the
couple of
chat who might be
therapists if you
playing.
want.
There's a player in the chat who might be playing some of the official.
Oh my god, Eskimo's playing. Yes!
No, I think I see someone gnoming in chat and might be him.
No, not him.
It's
Okay, so
Eskimo.
The guy above him. The guy above him.
Ukabo Karmed? Ooh, that's juicy. And as for you, Pappy, you're playing against 7, so pretty tough one. How do you go into that?
Try our best. I think next week's map's Gullywash, so
yeah.
I feel pretty good about playing Gullywash. I think I played 4,000 pugs on that map, so I'm prepared. I'm ready.
And Classy, we at the start of the stream, Eemes claimed that you were gonna get the Best Premiership Debut Awards. Is that your true goal?
I guess my true goal is just to win with the team. But
oh my god, you're boring.
What an answer! What a perfect answer.
We'll take one game after the other, and we'll see how it goes. You know.
Yeah, I'm a team player.
We're just trying to get that 3 points and on to next week.
As long as we have good practice during the week.
I'll grind out the sniper and the pugs because I have to prove someone wrong.
Yeah,
well, I didn't say you were weaker. I said you had different abilities.
I heard what you said, Ombrack.
I said different abilities.
Hey, just let Eemes do the talking.
Oh, you don't want that. I don't think you want that.
Happy to let
You're PMing Eemes now as well.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, you can watch the VOD. There were some.
To be fair, Ombrack got the prediction right.
Yeah, I
actually
said 5 in 27 minutes, and it was 27 in 30 seconds. Yeah,
really?
I think I said 30 seconds because I said let's be accurate, and I think I predicted the exact same good time.
Pretty impressive.
I never remembered you predicting the time. Maybe I was zoned out, but I don't actually believe you did that.
I think I did. Can someone go back in time and clip it? Thank you. But I think we're good, so we're gonna go through the shoutouts. So let me scroll up to see who's first on that list, and it's Classy.
Oh. Capricorn asked me to shout out him, so shout outs to him. Shout outs to my team, shout outs to the casters, shout outs to Eemes.
Okay, let's never invite Classy again.
Thank you.
Matt, do you have any shouts?
Yeah, Ombrack himself might hate himself, or hate myself for this. But shout out to Opti for being the best player and teammate in the world.
Pappy, any shout outs? Okay, Yak, any shout out?
Shout out to this rope. can have a nice meeting with it tonight.
Okay. Stay safe, and if nobody has any news updates from Yak tomorrow, we all call the police. Eemes, before we go off, do you have anything to add?
Shout out to the teams and production, and shout out to Gwyn Camp, my coaching squad. Yep, that's it.
And so that was season 32 Premiership game, week 2 between Swift and Monkey Mode. Swift takes it 6-0. So Monkey Mode doesn't take it 6-0 at all. And we'll see you probably tomorrow. I think there are more games tomorrow, so stay tuned. Follow us on our social media, especially mine. And have a good night.